What is happening, people? Welcome to Mclaren Fan TV. Yes, people, we are back, and you're damn right. We had to talk all things McLaren and all the things that have been going on in the world of Formula One. It's been a crazy, silly season. But before we get chopping on that, I'd like to bring my co-host on the show, of course, as per usual, Mahad from the Pit Stop Fracker. Mahad, talk to me. What's going on, man?
I can't even keep up with the notifications, man. There's a lot going on right now. Especially today. I think the last 24 hours has been a bit nuts in Formula One, but obviously we're here to bring you that content, people.
Absolutely. We have to give you that content. There's no doubt about it, man. We are here live in the building. As some of you guys have already, started messaging early, commenting quick and early. Listen, man, we cannot, where on earth do we even begin? I mean, because there's a domino effect going on here, right? We're going to end, of course, with Stella, because obviously that's our new man in the position of team principal at McLaren. But let's talk about the fact that Fred Vasseur has joined Ferrari in the first place as team principal, which left a hole for Sauber, which we will get into who filled that hole in particular with McLaren, and then we'll talk about our new team principal, Fred Vasseur. Mahad, what's your thoughts?
Obviously, first of all, let's forget about Fred Vasseur. What Bonotto gone?
Oh,
we didn't even speak about that. Because the last stream was our stream about the AD, basically.
Yes.
So we saw Bonotto gone. We said Bonotto's gone. Ferrari are ruthless. Bonotto was already beefing with Elkan. It was looking a bit nuts. Elkan's a Leclerc guy. Bonotto's a Sainz guy. It was looking a bit nuts, shaky for him. Then it was looking peaky. It was looking real peaky for Bonotto then. Once we saw the mistakes this season, we saw that it was a good car, but even that car was unreliable. There was a little bit of shakiness to it. They had to turn the engine down.
Yeah.
Then we hear he left. Oh, he's resigning from Ferrari. I feel like they gave him that talk. You know, them ones where it's like, you can either resign or we're going to fire you.
We'll resign it for you.
He did the whole resigning thing. And then I was hearing links about Fred. And I'm like, Fred?
Really?
Obviously, you hear the links before that was like, oh, they approached Seidl, they approached all these other people, and then they settled with Fred. But I don't really think he pushes the needle. I don't know. What's your opinions on Fred Vasseur?
Do you know what? I mean, two minds about it. When it first came out, when the talk of Fred Vasseur was being spoken of, I was not like impressed with it. I was not necessarily enthused about his situation. And then you kind of had to remember, like, you know what? This season, Alfa Romeo probably finished in their best position for a long time since the BMW days, right? So, you know, he's clearly gone on the right trajectory, hence why even Ferrari would look at a person like him. You remember his time at Renault? It didn't quite work out. I mean, Renault's structure was a bit of a weird one because obviously you had Cyril in there. So, you know, Fred doesn't necessarily sort of spark me as a guy that I can take seriously. He looks like he's no nonsense. He looks like somebody who is, because it seemed to me Bonotto was a bit more of a nice guy at Ferrari. And I think they wanted a little bit more Ron Dennis, ironically, right? They want something a little bit more sharp, a little bit more cutthroat, where, you know, if Charles Leclerc messes up, he's getting the stick for it. If it's the strategy, they're getting the stick for it. If it's the pit stop crew, they're getting it. Whereas Bonotto is sort of like, look, we're a team. We win together, we lose together. It's all family type of thing. So, yeah, it's that's where I am with Fred. You know, has he done a good job at Sauber? He's done okay, in my opinion. He's done okay.
I want to ask the crowd, what's Fred Vasseur good at?
Okay.
That's a hard question.
Well, yeah.
I agree with the no nonsense thing, yeah, but does it really translate to better performances? Because to me, they've got like one of the most shambolic pit stop crew of all time. They're Ferrari light. I feel like Ferrari you're doing an apprenticeship for Ferrari, yeah, where they get all the apprentices pit stop guys, and then they get promoted for Ferrari to be even more of a bozo. So yeah, it's not looking good that way. I don't think strategy wise, I think sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but I don't feel like it's something that is inherently going to improve Ferrari.
Would you not argue though that what he's done at Alfa Romeo, finishing 6th in the constructors, is impressive? Would you not argue that? Ahead of
Isn't
Aston Martin. Okay, I think it was.
don't
I think
Sauber- ain't Sauber like 6th to 8th every year from like the last 10 years? Or 6th
sixth.
to
I
10th?
don't know about sixth. You know,
No, like they're around that mediocre ballpark
I'd
of not
say they were
moving
like
forward.
7, 8, and 9s. You know what I'm saying? They were hovering in
We're
there.
not seeing a BMW Sauber team.
We're not. No, we're not. And you know, I think Fred comes in way after that. Sauber has gone through the ringer a little bit since the BMW days. And remember when Sauber, I think when Fred joined Sauber, they were talking about Honda joining them in like 2018 or 19, and he cut it. And it was like, no, we don't want that. And even when he kind of lost, when he left,
That's a bad decision.
well,
When you look back on it.
It's a bad decision, sure, but then at the same time, like I think for where Sauber were at, they had to just say, look, let's just get a little partnership thing with Ferrari. We'll get another partnership deal with Alfa Romeo. It brought money back into that camp. I remember that team being broke, but now it seems to me like this team is a team that's like it's established, and it somehow lured Audi to take them seriously. So there's a part of me the way I feel like, as I said in the beginning, I'm not jumping jacks for Fred Vasseur. Let's be very clear.
He's not pushing the needle.
He's not pushing the needle. But if I break it down bit by bit, I'll say this: I don't understand why Ferrari have gone for him. I'll go that. That's what I'll say on the whole thing. Should a team look at Fred Vasseur's CV? Absolutely, I think they should. But when you're Ferrari, when you're one of the big guys in the game, I'm not looking at Fred Vasseur, personally speaking.
If I was, let's say, for example, there was a situation where Fred Vasseur didn't go to Ferrari and he went to McLaren, I'd be furious right now.
I'll be furious. Yeah, I'll make you right.
I'll make you right.
However, that's because we had Andreas Seidl. do you know what it was? And we'll get there anyway. We'll get there.
Let's get there now. Let's talk about it now, because obviously Fred Vasseur leaves that situation.
Okay.
Gets his promotion to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Which is a promotion. And
yeah,
then
of course.
that leaves a hole at Alfa Romeo. Because Fred Vasseur was not only the team principal, he was the CEO.
Which I didn't know that until this new situation happened. I just thought
so when they do sign mid drivers, it's him. I want people to know that. So we spoke about this a long while ago. When Audi came in, we said, "Yo, they're gonna come for Seidl." What happened?
That is, do you know what? I forgot about that conversation, but it's only now that you said it, I'm like, oh snap! And I remember sort of thinking, really, that's a bit of a like. I remember thinking I was in two minds. Obviously, it's a German thing, calm. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But
and he used to be at Sauber.
That's what I forgot. I forgot he was at BMW Sauber, wasn't he? So that's what I find. That kind of linked together. And then obviously the more of the story you hear is that he was leaving anyway. He was always going to leave 2025 because Audi had tapped him up, and then he was like, "Look, when
that's when the new engine thing comes in, and that's when Audi's going to introduce their engine." He basically said the second Audi came through, he said to Zach, "I'm out."
Zach
at the end of the contract.
Yeah, he's done at the end of the contract.
So then Zach has to make a decision, no? At that point.
Well,
Zach knew about that from time ago. This is
Yeah.
not like he knew it from probably the summertime when Audi was announced.
And depending on what you read and what you're hearing, when once that was addressed, Zach was like, "Don't worry, I know the guy. I'm going to bring him for him. He's already a part of our team. I know this guy. I think he's my man," type of thing. So Andreas Stella is not a what's the word? Like a panic move. This was a real. Everything here seems to have been pre-planned. Okay, it was for 2025, and they've just asked the question: how about we bring it a bit forward now that Vasseur's gone the other way? Sauber obviously have got on the ear to Seidl and said, "Oh, by the way, can you help us fill up this hole for the time being as well?" And he's thinking, "Well, let's talk to McLaren about this." And they've cut the contract early, and the way he goes, So
it's another thing as well. It's another thing as well because specifically, I need people to understand. He's going there as a CEO, and then in their statement, they said they're looking for a TP. So they're looking for a team principal. So that means Seidl's got a promotion here. So whatever McLaren could have offered him in return, what are you going to do? Offer him Zach's job? You can't do that. And then he probably doesn't want to do that because he's thinking, I have to look after the whole McLaren group then. I have to look after the McLaren Arrows. I have to look after the Formula E team. I have to look after all of that. And that's probably not even a thing that Seidl's attracted to at that time.
Yeah.
Seidl's thinking, I can go back to the team that I was with for like 4 years. Sauber. I lived near the factory in Switzerland, whatever.
Yeah.
The wind tunnels in Germany. I could see my family.
Nice.
And I'm the gaffer. I got a big boy promotion. His role is higher than a team principal.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is.
Right now, he's in a very neutered role of just like, I just look after the race team and that's it. I don't need to really deal with like marketing or media or any of them things. I just do my job. This is a promotion for him.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's the thing. When I saw the news, because I you know what it's like, you see something, you trigger, and I tweeted straight away and I said, what is going on at McLaren, right? And I was saying that angrily because losing Seidl was a big loss, right? It's a loss at the end of the day. And I'd put him up in that category of, team principals. I feel like he's up there. He's top 3, top 4, comfortably up there. And then, when you start to sort of break it down a little bit and see CEO, obviously he's not the CEO at McLaren. Yes, it's a promotion. Because I was asking, why would he move to Alfa Romeo? Let's be very clear. This is Alfa Romeo we're talking about. But of course, going ahead.
Audi, and it's going to be Audi from the end of next year. So that Alfa Romeo name's gone at the end of this year.
Well, yeah, is it this year that it's gone, or is it next year?
So no. So start of next season is not next season. I'm forgetting 2024 season.
Yeah,
that's when it will become Audi Sauber, then by name, and then they'll get their engine and stuff like that in 2026.
Right. Okay. Because I read somewhere that between Alfa Romeo and Audi Sauber or Sauber Albi, whatever it's going to be called. There's just a Sauber team, like by name. It would just be Sauber for about a year, or I thought it was a year or 2. I don't know.
No, I think it's going to be Audi name by name from 2024.
Okay, right.
But they're not going to have actually any Audi like engine.
Nothing Audi about it.
So they'll probably just be using the same Ferrari engine or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
but it gives him a head. It's scary because you're giving Andre Seidl time.
Keys. You're giving him the keys.
And you're giving him time to work to 2024, to 2026. So for every other team, it's scary hours because they've got money.
That's the thing.
And they've got Andre Seidl running the ship, and they've got time to just chill and not have any expectations of like winning or anything like that, or trying to get podiums right now because everything's working towards then. And they're gonna have the best wind tunnel in F1. They're gonna have the most money.
Yeah,
it's just
why
about
the
driving
best
talent now.
Why'd you say it's the best?
Because this is come on, this is like. They've got a massive factory in Germany right now.
I guess what Volkswagen's going to hook them up, yeah?
Volkswagen's hooking them up. Volkswagen's richer than all these Donnies. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
So it's really about, okay, what can Andrea Seidl do there? And I think from that aspect from McLaren, that's a big problem. Because now you've got someone that's not only is a competitor to you, that can just excel straight away past you. And be chatting to Red Bull. And
they did finish behind us, wasn't it? They finished behind us in terms of the constructors this year, so they'll be eyeing up that 5th, 4th place in the constructors in the next couple of years at least. Bro, there's so many comments. I want to get through to all of them whilst we chop up the sort of the situation that we're breaking down here. Big up everyone as well watching the video, streaming us live, and even those that are watching the replay. Big up yourself. Do smash a like button on this video for me. That would be brilliant. Canadian Gringo says, hello. Yes. Seems like one of the few competent people have left. Yeah. I mean, I've got faith in Stella. Yeah. I'm gonna have to throw especially reading what I read about Stella's background. I'm starting to think, okay. And do I trust Zach Brown? I kind of do, to be fair. I do trust Zach Brown for what he does. I'd argue the only howler he's probably made is Danny Ricciardo, which nobody really saw coming. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody would have bitten.
I don't think he's made. I was actually thinking about this earlier. I don't think Zach Brown's made much mistakes apart from the Ricciardo signing. And at the time, the Ricciardo signing was a good idea. Nobody at the time said it was a bad idea.
No, exactly. Although, if you look at this comment here, I think James Corden is a howler. Where if we're gonna be, if I want to be critical, you know what I'm saying. So when will Zach Brown hire James Corden as team boss? That's what you have to throw it away. I didn't realize how hated James Corden, on a side note, is hated in America. I did not know this, but apparently he's not liked up there.
Apparently he's very rude in person, to people. So
there's the British. Big up to Alex. Finally, I'm not missing another stream. Yes, big up yourself, Alex.
Big up,
You're
Alex,
with us live in the building. Canadian Gringo, hello again. Yes. Because you did comment earlier on before the stream started. Baraka, Big up yourself, Baraka. What's going on? Hope you're good. Says big up. You done know. J Starship says, "Oh yeah, we are back. Yes, indeed, we are
Hello,
back."
J Starship. I hope you're well.
Yes, sir. Isn't Seidl not the TP of Alpha? No, he's not the team principal of Alpha.
No, he's
Romeo.
the CEO. He's the CEO.
He is the CEO.
No, isn't Seidl not the? He's the CEO, but he could be the team principal.
Well,
if he chose to.
As you said about Fred Vasseur, isn't it? Fred Vasseur was the CEO and team prince. So I wonder if Seidl will look to recruit somebody there. Would like to recruit.
Because I don't think he would want to do 2 jobs. Like same way he wasn't doing 2 jobs at McLaren. We had Zach as the CEO, and then we had Seidl as the TP. So he had a very much focused role on just working on the race team. But now he's going to be in a higher position in CEO. He's got to deal with this merger now of Audi and Sauber and making that work. You can't be on a pit wall, wasting time.
He ain't got time to be on no pit wall, man. He's got no time to be on that. Big up, Elliot. Hope you're good. Thanks for joining us once again. The Bonotto and Vasseur news wasn't that surprising. Capito was slightly surprising, but I was shocked about Seidl leaving McLaren. I hope this isn't a huge setback for the team, but it could be.
We're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to talk about that.
I want to dissect that a little bit, so we'll
dissect that after we talk about Stella.
Yeah, no problem. We'll dissect that one. Ferrari will Ferrari, no matter who is there. You know, I genuinely don't think Bonotto.
They've downgraded. You can't tell me they've not downgraded. Anybody out there, you can't tell me.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Downgraded. So we like this. This is what we like to see. Trevor says team principal, silly season in full effect. I mean, it's just been like even Elliot mentioned Capito. I was gobsmacked to see Capito gone. Like I was just like, wait, and by the here, from what you're reading and whatever listening to, he's been again. It's a Bonotto thing. Like he's been asked to sort of step aside, or we'll make this happen for you because step 2 in your project hasn't really stepped because they did finish at the back this season.
I think this might be a shock, guys, but I think Williams are actually a serious team. Because before, Claire Williams ain't sacking this guy in that scenario. This the Rillington group, whatever their name is.
Yeah,
they're serious.
Capital,
they probably set some targets for him when he signed him. He failed those targets, and they said, you got to go, mate. So you either resign or we fire you.
Listen, I think you need to have that on pause. Have that Williams are a serious team on pause by what they recruit next. Because when they recruited Josh Capito, I thought, oh, hang on a minute. This is serious stuff. This is a man who's won rally championships and whatnot. He's here to, he's obviously he's at the tail end of his sort of career. So he's looking to get into a team and bring that Williams team back midfield at least, right? And okay, fine, that hasn't happened. But this is a serious dog in motorsport. Like, Josh Capito is no joke.
Yeah, no, Josh Capito is a serious guy. And I think operationally they work well. They're not I won't say Williams are like a joke team. I don't see them doing joke man pit stops or anything like that. They have a very, very, very slow driver in Latifi.
The only thing I caught, the only thing that I caught off him that caught me off a little bit, the sort of whiff I got from him, especially more Drive to Survive, if anything, was that he just looked so happy to be there. And I was a bit like, hang on a minute, you're somebody who knows how to win at the big stage in motorsport, right? And you should be going into Williams and reining everyone's neck in and getting them to pull their finger out and get back on the front end. Like the Massa and Bottas days, get it back to at least that respectable stage, then we can smile and dance. But it just seemed like he was just delighted to be there. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to remember that. If it goes wrong, I'll remember that. And look, he's gone.
Look who you hired to build the car. The Mason, whatever his name is.
Look who hired who?
Look who Jost hired. Jost Capito. Look who you hired to build the car. He hired the Mason, whatever. He builds rally cars.
Yeah, he builds.
What was if he designs and builds rally cars and that's his background? What was you expecting in Formula 1? Not to be rude or like that, but what was you expecting in terms of heading towards the new regs and stuff like that? I think his time was. I think he really lifted our team out that was completely in the mud. They were completely in the mud, and they have made some progress from that.
Bro, go back and watch Drive to Survive when Claire Williams was on her knees. Pause. She was literally at breaking point. Quite literally, it was the point where you just felt like remember that.
Yeah, she was having a breakdown there.
She was having a breakdown, and the fact that the car didn't even make testing. Right, there was 1 year. Was it 2018 or 19? Didn't make testing. and you just knew that, okay, this Williams is a sham. Nothing.
So they have so Capital has lifted them from that mud. Yeah.
So why have they sacked him?
Because I reckon that new ownership are more serious and they set higher goals, and he didn't achieve those goals. And they're one of those ruthless type of organizations where they're like,
what were they again? Are they like an insurance company?
No, they're like what are they? Guys, jump in the chat if you know what Williams ownership group is. I think they might be
Dorrington Capital.
Like maybe some venture capitalists or something. I think they're American, right?
Yeah, they're American.
Yeah. They're serious. They're not here to play games, man. I mean, they're here to get return on investment. And if you're on a joke man team, they'll get you out of there.
But this is the thing. Let's keep it a buck. Formula One is not about making your returns. It's not. That's not the kind of sport you're in. Not now, anyway.
They're in it. Listen, if you're a venture capitalist or whatever, and you're there, they're there to try to sell the team for profit.
And in order to sell the team for profit,
right now it's a sunk cost. You're losing money.
Mm.
So that's why they're doing all these marketing campaigns. You see them selling merch. Opening up shops in Westfield and that when it's Silverstone.
Yeah.
They're trying to do a thing like they're trying to proper market it to increase the value of the team. And if they feel like Capital couldn't take them, they said they were heading in a different direction. They know what they want. Well, so they're gonna have to bring in someone they believe is better than Capital. Capital's got pedigree. Has he got Formula One pedigree? No. He used to be our team principal. When Ron and Dennis chipped, he chipped.
Of course, yeah, he did. Oh yeah, of course he did.
Zach Brown didn't see. He looked at Capital and he said, "Okay, this guy ain't for me."
Yeah.
So I want people to remember that. So and he's an older gentleman as well.
Exactly. He don't need this. You know what it was? He's like, I don't need this.
He's like Ross Brawn age. He wants to get out of there.
Exactly. Nate says, big up Nathaniel, says, love to see it. Listen, Nate, just worry about your team. Worry about Mercedes getting their car, getting their finger out. Yeah, they finished third in the constructors this year. Just know. Just remember. Now, big up yourself, Nate. Hope you're doing well. TSJ, awesome. What's going on? I hope you're good. Thank you for coming back. Disappointed to see Seidl leave, but I hope Stella is up to the task of bringing us back to the front when we get our new wind tunnel. What? Okay, this new wind tunnel, by the way, have you seen recently that the news came out that it's going to be delayed, and I think you mentioned this ages ago on this, during the 2022 season, you mentioned that this is going to be a delay, and then all of a sudden there was a bit of a hype train about, oh my god, McLaren's wind tunnel's not going to be ready, blah blah. Very quickly, how confident are you on Stella, based on what you know of him so far? And a bit, if you want to share a bit about him in terms of like where he comes from, what's the background with him, what gives him the right to be the team principal at McLaren?
I think Stella's been at F1 for a very long time. He's somebody that you would see around the paddock. I knew about him from a very long time as well. I remember I was quite excited when we hired him initially, just to have somebody like that within the team. Obviously, he comes from the ops. So
he comes from the ops. Yeah.
Ferrari and that. So if you asked me 10 years ago, will Stella be our team principal? I'll be like, you're having a laugh. There's absolutely no chance. But obviously, he was the performance engineer for Michael Schumacher in the championship years at Ferrari. Raikkonen as well, his performance engineer when he won the title at Ferrari. Then he was Alonso's performance engineer, then race engineer. So he's basically the guy on the mic with Alonso during that period of time, where Alonso did perform. He didn't underperform the period at Ferrari as well. So he knows he's a racer guy. We're dealing with a racer guy, and he's got his obviously education in the engineering side of things as well. So we're not dealing with somebody that's not known around the paddock. He knows his shit about F1 and everything like that. We're not getting somebody that's maybe fresh face from. I was worried because I thought we were going to sign somebody like from IndyCar or like Formula E and stuff like that. And then I was just like, why are we taking those type of gambles? This is a very, very, very safe option.
Very safe.
He's been at McLaren for ages now. Since what? I can't remember now. 2016, 2017? I'm not.
Yeah, I was going to say before Zach, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's been there for a while. And then obviously he was Seidl's number 2. He's the guy that's on the side. If we're seeing improvements in our pit stops, it's due to him. If we're seeing improvements on strategy, it's due to him. Anything that's on race day in terms of performance and the quali day, and sorting out that stuff, it was his responsibility. So he's quasi doing Seidl's role anyway. But obviously Seidl has to look at the factory side of things at the same time.
Sure.
And if you look at it from this perspective, did Seidl do a proper job in that factory side of things?
Oh, here we go.
That's a question for you guys. Did he oversee? Because as your job as team principal, obviously you look at the drivers, you look after the drivers,
Yeah.
you look after your pit crew and everything that happens on race day and what happens on track. And then you got the looking after the people in the factory, making sure that the car's getting sorted out and the car's good.
Yeah.
Did he do that side to an elite level?
I think
That's
he started to, in my opinion. But this season, I remember us, if not me, arguing about Seidl. Like, yo, Seidl, I'm watching you because there's certain things that normally he does so well that he wasn't doing this season. And it's up for debate. Did he do a full-on great job as team principal, covering all aspects accordingly? Listen, I'm not arguing with somebody who says he doesn't. He didn't, rather.
But so my concern with Stella now is, okay, I'm not worried about the track stuff. What happens on race day if he manages strategy and pit stop and stuff like that? Because he was already doing that. Mm-hmm. He's been doing that the whole time. So anybody that says, oh, he won't be able to handle that, he was doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Anybody that works in a workplace, it's not the gaffer that's actually doing the work. It's the guy that's underneath him that does that work.
Sure. No, exactly.
And that was it. So
exactly.
It's about how he oversee the factory. And one thing that obviously I think there was a statement they brought out, right? When he came out. And one thing that kind of stood out to me is that he mentioned I want to get my head around the whole factory thing and make sure that's being oversaw and like I want to be working on that. The fact that he said that straight away is that he's got his priorities right because he can see what the weaknesses are within the team.
Yeah,
is the actual car itself, and how do we improve that?
Yeah,
and
so
I think that's good. That's a good sign that he actually said that himself.
Listen, I trust Zach on this appointment because Zach from day one, from what I'm hearing, what I've been listening to, what I've been reading, is saying this was always going to be my guy when Seidl leaves. We already had sort of a contingency plan for when Seidl goes because Seidl will be hot property in Formula One, and it was always going to be Stella, according to the reports anyway. It was always going to be Stella that will come into play. So if that is the case, then okay, may this be a year too early for him. We'll find out next year, right?
Yeah, because the original plan is 2025, right? That he was
exactly
going to come in, and now you've dragged it 3 years forward.
Yeah. So what? But it could work well because maybe as he's buying his time, and that wind tunnel gets to where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? We might have a perfect marriage where we've got a seasoned team principal who has, head of operations, race director, whatever else, engineering and so on and so forth. He's been in the game a long time. And then we've also got our tunnel, which is meant to be of optimum level. And if we can marry and look at our drivers, for crying out loud, right? So you look at everything, you look at all those factors in play. It could be a very good match, come 2025. We could be looking at a McLaren team where we're thinking, oh my God, how far can this team go? 25, 26.
I wouldn't say it's all doom and gloom and it's knocked off the pathway that we're on anyway. Because like I said, the goals are 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
The wind tunnel being delayed, that doesn't really affect anything. People are making out it's a big hoopla. We're supposed to get it in the summer 2023. Yeah. And now we're going to get it like in the off-season 2023 afterwards. How is that a big deal? Because obviously you was only going to have half a season of your wind tunnel to build the next car anyway. And it's going to be towards the end. Yeah. You would have been building that car anyway in another wind tunnel. And that's not really the goal. So everything's gearing towards a larger and bigger picture. And it's about having the right people in place. The fact that Zach Brown knew that Seidl was leaving, and I think people think that Seidl leaving was a sign that he didn't really have faith in the project, in the McLaren project. What we're doing like that. This is him going home. This is him getting a promotion. This is him working with a team that's just got bare money. They offered all the stuff that we couldn't offer. So that's not a sign of him not having faith in Zach Brown or the project that's being made here. That's just making the best move for him. And Zach Brown had the time to sit down and think about throughout the last maybe 6 months, okay, who am I going to replace Seidl with? And he made the decision in-house rather than bring somebody in. But if he was going to bring somebody in, he would have done it a long time ago.
I think
he would have had a short list of all these people. Okay, these are who I'm going for.
Yeah.
And he decided I'm going to go there. And another thing as well is Seidl rejecting Ferrari.
Yeah.
And going to Audi. What did I say about Ferrari? What's going on over there?
Exactly. No, exactly.
Where he's like, nah, I'd rather go down and go to Audi, go to Audi Sauber than
Yeah.
go to a top team that's winning races right now.
Because they could be knocking on Ferrari's door come 26, 27, 28. Do you know what I mean? They'll be knocking on that door.
So that's how you know he's got a brand loyalty to Audi. He was a Porsche guy prior to coming to us.
Yeah.
We hired somebody that's not in Formula One, took the gamble, and he turned out to be top 3 team principal, I think. We're taking another gamble now of a guy that's within Formula One. And I don't have any issues with or any like reservations of how he's going to perform on track. Like how he manages the drivers, how he manages the team on pit stops and everybody, the whole crew there. It's about what he does with this development, and we're not going to see the outcome of that until a bit later on.
Yeah, we give him time. We're backing Andreas, Stella. You know what I'm saying? But big up to Seidl for what he done for McLaren. But we'll talk more on that as well. Is this to continue the silly season situation? Horner to Haas. This is when it's time to pack it in.
That ain't real. Is that real?
I don't know. I don't know.
Gringo, you're having me on, man.
I don't know if this is just because it's a silly season team principle. We might
you're gonna have me searching Twitter now. What's going on here?
Might as well just have that in there. Whilst you're looking online to find out if that is actually true.
I'm getting trolled here. I'm not listening to it.
Big up Andrea H. Big up Andrea H. First time, I'm gonna assume on our stream. Big up yourself. I like Stella. He's worked closely with Seidl. He knows the team, the operations, was part of the future plans anyway. It's better than bringing an outsider for sure.
Just, business as usual, guys.
Business as usual. We move on. Some things have advanced early, and that's fine. Do you know what I'm saying? That's okay. As long as they're prepared, I'm all right with it. Jay Starship saying, imagine that, right? Horner to Haas. Yosak, Alpha at team principal. Yos Capital at Alfa Romeo. What are you saying? So I didn't hear that. I don't know if is your mic gone?
I was on mute. Guys.
Oh, okay.
I think Jos could work. I think he's good at managing people. He had that Williams pit crew on the manor. Williams' strategy didn't have any stinkers from what my memory was. They just had a slow driver. It could work. And it kind of relieves Jost of kind of dealing with like CEO duties or anything like higher up. Yeah. He can just focus on the team, and then Seidl can do his thing and oversee the picture. But it could work. That could be a good relationship, brother.
It could work indeed. Alex has continued on say Jensen
Button
at Williams to Williams TP.
No, who said that? Tomo said that as well. That's a wild one.
Opinion. I mean, where do Williams go from there? Where do Williams go from there, though? Where do they go?
I don't know. I've been rattling my brain thinking who would be the Williams TP. Guys, put in the chat who you think it is. Because I have no idea. Jensen Button would be left field. Even though he's there.
Do you know what? I'd take a gamble on Cyril. If I'm Williams, I'll say, look,
Cyril already somewhere else.
Where did he go?
Like Hyundai or something like that.
Yo, bring that, man. Just bring.
Bring that. I don't know if it is. Is it in WEC? Is it in WRC? I don't know.
Bruh.
He's taking a team principal job somewhere.
Listen, you just gotta make a phone call, boy. You know what I'm saying? And then think about that Danny Ricciardo relationship later. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really Cyril like that.
Are you not a fan of Cyril? Yeah.
That's a bit of Netflix tax right there, still. Yes.
Is it? I said it's Netflix tax.
Netflix tax still, can't lie.
Oh,
but Jensen's already there, so. That could work. That's just about, does Jensen want to do that, or does he want to sit track?
What about this? What about this troll here? What about this troll here? Huh?
We don't talk about.
We don't talk about them man there. Okay. We move on.
Get that.
J Starship says Bottas and Joe gone at the end of 2023. Watch.
I reckon. This is what I think is going to happen. You heard it here first, guys. 13th of the 12th, 2022. I think Fred Vasseur is at Ferrari. He and Leclerc have got a very, very close relationship. That relationship between Ferrari and Sainz is going to get peak next season.
Woo!
It's going to get real spicy over there. Then Sainz is going to be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Alfa Romeo when Joe's contract's up. So it's going to be a lineup of Sainz and Bottas.
Boy, Hey, what? Science getting that Audi bag, yeah?
He's gonna be going back to his old gaffer Seidl, and he's like, I'm going to Audi. Audi, I swear Science's dad is linked with Audi. I remember that.
He is indeed. He is indeed.
Science Senior, innit? Science
Yes,
Senior
yes.
got that. Come on, that's happening, guys, man. That relationship. Look, Fred Elkan, the guy, the top gaffer at Ferrari, brought in Leclerc's favorite team principal. Just brought him in. If that ain't favoritism, I don't know what is.
And also,
Sainz is second driver automatically next season. It's not even due to like ability. He's just second driver automatically. They don't even care. It's gonna get political.
And of course, Seidl has worked with Science at McLaren.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Bottas, Sainz. It's happening, guys.
Now, there's got to be a German in there. Surely there's a German in there.
If they want to get rid of Bottas, got 3-year contract. He's not going anywhere until next season at all.
Well, you don't see 2026, yeah? Little Mick Schumi, a return of Sebastian Vettel.
Oh no, later on down the line. Yeah. I think this is Bottas's last contract at that team.
Okay.
I just think for one season it's going to be Sainz, Bottas, and then it's going to be Sainz and whatever German they bring in.
Interessant. Big up to everybody that's watching the stream right now. There's tons of you watching. Make sure you do smash a like button on this channel and subscribe. Listen, McLaren Fan TV, man, we need the subs, okay? Let's get this name out and about. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking all things for McLaren, okay? McLaren propaganda. Let's be very, very clear. That's what I heard regarding Jensen to Williams. Baraka says, is the move a win for McLaren?
I wouldn't say it's a win or a loss. I think we're just the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as a win.
Do you know what? I'll say on the grand scheme of things, it's a loss because Audi's got Seidl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Audi's game.
Audi's a threat. Seidl's a threat.
Oh God, yeah. They
so it's not even only a loss to us; it's a loss to everybody. It's a loss to Mercedes, it's a loss to Ferrari, it's a loss to everybody because now they got Seidl.
And that's the thing, you know.
Ferrari's pissed. Ferrari's like, how you reject? They must be doing the whole Italian thing, like how you reject us.
Yeah,
Audi. They must be doing a madness. They must be upset.
How long?
It's like when you rejected him. Remember when you rejected him?
Yeah.
How long him the world?
How? So they gave him the keys to the city.
They gave him that briefcase. You see that briefcase with the gold bricks? I knew he said, "Nah, I'm all right."
You're all right, cuz. People rejected Ferrari, boy, like left, right, and center, like it's nothing. Do you know what I mean? How long did you give Fred at Ferrari? How long has he actually got there?
I'll give him 2 years. I said 1 year. I was rash at the beginning. I'll give him 2 years.
I said he was rash.
I was thinking this guy's out the door this time next year, but then I'll give him 1 more. I'll give him 2 years.
I'd agree with you on this question. I think on the grand scale of things, you look at it openly and look at the whole picture. It's a loss for sure because he's a great asset to have in Formula One, but it's not the end of the world. I think we've got somebody in place which seems to have. Obviously, he's the fabric of McLaren at this moment in time, even though he came from the ops. However, we have to wait and see. He's got a couple of years to buy his time. And if he's not full throttle 25, 26, questions will be raised for sure. That's what it will be.
He's got the driver talent, he's got the money. So yeah. What's the issue here, mate?
He's got the CEO as well. So he's fine. He's fine. Jay Starship says maybe Seidl wants both roles.
What, the TP and CEO?
Do you think he would want both roles?
It's a bit of a headache because he's not been doing that for the last 4 years.
It's a headache, but I guess it's less of a headache when you're coming from McLaren because you mentioned all, like a CEO's job at McLaren, all the things they have to cater to is far more than what you have to cater to at Sauber at this moment in time.
Yeah, like what Zach's doing now is extraordinary. Zach's stressed out because he's running how many teams? How many racing teams is he running?
Well,
and how much marketing is he doing? And how much pitbulls is he on?
Exactly. I bet, and all that media, commitment. I bet that Zach is doing more work than what Fred was doing at Alpha. And Fred was the team principal and CEO.
Yeah, that's actually true. Because they didn't need him to do anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
What was Sauber doing? Sauber ain't even got like an F2 team. They ain't got nothing.
Sauber's always been a team that's, if they had they died tomorrow in terms of the team just got dissolved, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I just wouldn't.
No, I'd be sad.
Nah, do you know why? Because I had to go through years of like Ericsson. I had to go through years when they were having that blue and yellow car, like what 2017.
No, from 2010 to now, they've been mid.
Mid.
For the last 10 years, they've been horrible.
All right, maybe and the fact they had a Chelsea badge on their car when Sergio Perez was there. That's the end for me. That's the end for me. Like I wouldn't have. Trust me,
that was so random, man.
Not one tear would have been shed, blood. And you know what's funny?
BMW days, they were cooking, man. That's my childhood right there.
You can't hate.
That was a top 3 team on the grid, man.
It was cold, and it could have done more. Why it kind of dropped the ball from there, I don't know.
Again, guys, I'm extremely worried that we haven't got an engine manufacturer partner. I'm extremely worried.
That's annoying. And the fact
that we could have just had this. Imagine if we just had this Audi deal, we could have kept Seidl.
You know what
this stupidness, man.
The fact that Audi were looking at Seidl, I'm thinking, why couldn't he just bring him over this way? Do you know the ones? Like, why not just bring
Audi wanted to take us, and then Seidl was a second alternative.
And what we just said, no, like as in what was our reasoning for not doing it?
I would never understand.
Still weren't right.
My only reasoning I said is Zach's got a better offer in the pipeline. That's better. That's the only. He's got another engine manufacturer that he's lining up because surely he knows. Zach, look at me. I know you're looking at the stream right now. Surely you know you cannot win a Formula 1 without making your own engine. You cannot win championships. It's not possible.
Well, he might say ask Red Bull. And
Red Bull will go for a Honda engine. No, he's going to say Renault and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's not. Renault. That will never happen again. It's
a one-off, yeah.
That's one-off. That will never happen again.
It's a one-off.
So, Zach, you better have some BMW deal in the pipeline. I don't know, Ford, something. Come through with something.
You better come through
Nissan.
With something. Listen, Volkswagen. You know the ones. The ones that actually
come through, man.
The engine that makes everyone's engine. Do you know the ones? Like,
Tesla, come through. No, I don't.
No, louder. who did I see on Twitter today? Man was in what ends was he in? He was somewhere in South London, and it showed man was in Greenwich. I think he was like in Clapham or something, and they showed him in Greenwich. I said, nah, I'm not going to.
Them Teslas are falling apart. Them Teslas are falling apart still.
Teslas ever since he took over friggin' Twitter. Big Art Elliot says who will end up running Williams. That's exactly the question, man. We don't exactly know.
We don't know even.
Do you know what? If Jenson Button end up taking it, like I'll just be like, then I'll tell you, Mahad, yeah, I'll be like, come back again and tell me they're serious. Come back and tell me going to capital serious. I can't take them seriously, but
I think he'd probably be good at driver management, but what's he doing in the factory?
Listen, bags of experience and whatnot. Yeah, fine. Have him in the camp. No problem whatsoever. Team principal. But he must have the least amount of responsibilities.
Get that guy out of it.
I said
Susie Wolf running Williams
about Susie Wolf, but that may be something. But people will complain about her being in that position with Toto.
Yeah, that's right. 100%.
Especially if they got the Mercedes.
That's conflict of interest. You can't do that. What?
Yeah, it is a conflict of interest. To be fair,
you're the engine. You might as well put was it Jerry Horner in the bloody?
You know what I'm saying? You might as well just say, look, it's their Toro Rosso. Do you know what it was? They might as well just call it what it is, man.
If Toto leaves F1 completely, that's fine. So Susie will take over.
Yeah,
but you both can't be in F1 at the same time with different teams.
I forgot about this as well. FX Dimensions also out as well.
Yeah, that's the guy that was a mixed rally cars. He was out.
Yes, okay, that's the bloke you were talking about. Yeah. And then Capito made a step forward for the team. Yeah, I think so.
He did make a step forward.
It wasn't enough.
Like I said, they might be a serious team. My indication is that their benchmarks are like here.
No, I don't believe in them, bruv. I don't believe in them, man. Still, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna come around and be like, when they hired Capito, I said, yeah, these men are.
You know what? Okay, I know why you don't believe in them because they hired Latifi for 3 years. Bro, no other team on the grid would hire Latifi for 3 years.
They backed it, bro. And like when George left for Mercedes, there was no fight, nothing. There was no willingness to say, look, George, if you stay here, bro, we got big things going in. Now, don't get me wrong. When they brought in Albon, clutch move, very good move from them. Yeah, bringing in Albon.
Now they got
Sargent in. What's your thoughts on Sargent? Should we watch out for him? Is there anything to see?
He's good, man. I watch F2 quite a lot. I watched F2 quite a lot. He's the one that stood out. If that F2 grid it's a smelly grid, man. There's only like 3-4 drivers that stand out, and he was one of them. And he was a rookie, and he was cooking.
And why is the Freeze not gone to Williams? Why has he gone to AlphaTauri?
Because low key, the Freeze might be getting lined up for that Red Bull seat.
What, 2 Dutchmen in Red Bull? Allow it. That could be a nightmare.
Yeah,
that could be a nightmare. Right?
Did you know? Red Bull just took a swing and said, "Okay, let's just test this guy out on Avatar for a year. If he actually cooks, then we're promoting him and getting rid of Perez."
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Well, Perez, there might be a seat empty depending on how we get along as well. You never know. You just never know what can happen. Big up Usair, one of our McLaren mandem, of course, says, "Hi guys, at this point I don't even care about this era of regs. As far as McLaren is concerned, I'm just going to wait for 2026 or whenever the new regs come out."
Yeah. Usair, man, that's always been the plan though. That's why I've seen a lot of reactionary takes today saying, look, the project's going to fail. Look at this. This is a disaster. They're going to lose Lando. This is all stuff that they knew about from the beginning, and the target's been 2026 anyway. I don't know how this delays anything. I don't know how this affects anything. You think you think Lando didn't know that my man's gone? That my man was going. Seidl was going. He knows. He's the star guy on the team. Oscar knows.
Before or after that new contract? Lando's one. Would the contract be till 25?
No. Everybody thinks about the contract and stuff like that. Lando signed that contract because he was getting paid less than Ricciardo. That should not be a circumstance. That should ever happen.
Being paid less than Ricciardo.
Yeah, that's it. He was getting paid like what, 7 mil or something like that. Ricciardo's getting 15 mil. Straight away, I'm going to my agent like, yo, give me a new contract right now. Right now, because this guy, I'm dunking on him.
On Ricciardo, by the way, I see Red Bull have pulled out another reserve driver. What's going on here? I forgot the Don's name, but they pulled out another reserve driver. I'm thinking,
Zane Maloney, my Caribbean brother.
Is he the reserve? Like, what's going on?
I think he's the reserve. Zane Maloney cooked in F3, man. He's that guy, man.
Wow.
And Red Bull just signed it. They're collecting these youth drivers as Infinity stuff. Every youth driver that's popping right now is an RB driver.
Huh. Well, let's have a look and see. We have to wait and see what happens there. I'll tell you what, if Danny Ricciardo's getting bumped in FP1 for this guy, he has to have a hard look at himself.
Daniel Ricciardo needs to. He just needs to just be in the background and be like, Perez has said this and that.
Yeah,
so he can take Perez's seat. That's his only hope to get back in F1.
It's his only hope. Bracker says, if they were expecting instant success, then Capital was always there for a limited time.
100%.
TSJ says, I thought Capital retired, which was the reason for him leaving. It sounds like it was like, hey, do you want to retire right now? Like,
read that statement, guys. That's exactly what I think.
I don't know.
We wanted to go in a different direction. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I used to write those type of statements for work. That means you get sacked.
Man had with the press releases, boy. I swear. Man, we could read between
I do
the
press
lines.
Releases there all day long, man. It's peak.
I can read between them lines. Fun fact, Toto and Christian are the only team principals on the grid who have won the title.
Yeah, they're the only ones left, man. Oh, no, they were the only ones that left anyway.
Yeah, as in like nothing in terms of like, I guess it was the same as last year, but still, it's like that is a bit mad,
Yeah, because it's a monopoly sport, man. These men collecting the last how many titles? 12.
Very true indeed. Andrea says people shouldn't be so all negative all the time. As a McLaren fan, I want to believe in the team. It was clear it takes time to step up. Red Bull needed it a lot of years after Vettel.
100%, and that's how it should be seen.
100%. 1,000%. We agree with you.
I'm seeing, second has said Seidl's gone. Lando should leave. This is an L for Lando. This is an L for McLaren. McLaren's in the mud. They're going to be in the mud forever. What do you mean they're going to be in the mud forever? We're in the mud right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what mud did we get ourselves out of? What are you talking about? We've got a long-term plan. We are on track for the long-term plan. Every single piece of news doesn't mean, Lando's going to leave or whatever. It doesn't mean that. It means just we're on this path and we're going on the path and we're carrying on with the path. And then when we get to the point where we're supposed to be, which is 25, 2026, and we are not winning championships, then we are in the mud even more. But we're already at the point. I look at where we were in 2017 and look at us where we are now. Listen, I don't want to be. 2017 is the mud. This is like that is bad. That's peak.
Yeah,
That's when Lando should be leaving and stuff like that. We should be all right. We're all right.
We're all right.
I think we're in a very different complex because there's a lot of people that are McLaren fans, and then there's a lot of people that are just like the driver fans, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a conflict between the two.
Absolutely.
You know I couldn't care. Obviously, we want to keep Lando and stuff like that. But if he decided he wanted to leave, I couldn't care less. Because it's his career. You know what I'm saying? He let him, if he feels like McLaren's not the place to be and he needs to move, guess what? We'll just bring another driver in. When have we not had a top driver?
That's a good question.
In the last 35 years, 30 years, 40 years, when have we not had a top driver? We always have a top driver. It don't matter.
We've always had a top driver. Without a shadow of a doubt, we have. Andrea goes on to say, if we are getting there with the new facilities, it's be early enough to be disappointed. Yeah, so it's not even like we haven't, like there's things in the pipeline that are all going to come and merge together, and it's going to look, it can look sensational. No doubt about it.
It's not like, oh, the wind tunnel's delayed. Oh, they're not a serious team. What are you talking about? We're building a wind tunnel.
Exactly. We're building that.
We're building it. It's not instant impact.
The only thing left is a new engine. It's a new engine. That's all it is.
That's the only concern you should be worried about. Why have we not got an engine partnership right now?
Yeah.
When we were trash, we could still manage to get a Honda deal.
Yeah.
We're not even sorting out a deal right. We need to sort something out.
Come on, McLaren. Let's get a new engine. Man.
Bring me Peugeot. Oh no, bring me some.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. A Peugeot? Flipping out, man. Listen, I'll take give me Volkswagen, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got the engines, man. I need an engine, man.
I tell you what, McLaren, yeah. How about you bring your own engine over? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't make the road cars, for goodness sake.
No, they don't even make those engines. That's what I'm saying.
So I heard, yeah. It's a bit peak. Them ones where
put a Bugatti engine in there, man.
Bruce McLaren's from New Zealand. It's peak, like it's all peak. Everything, it's all over. It's everywhere. Nate says, "What Pete on smoke for me? Where did you man finish again? Listen, we finished where we finished, didn't it? We got more tunnel than Alpine. That's what we're saying, isn't it? That's what we're saying next year." TSJ says Stella moved with Alonso to McLaren at the start of 2015.
Yeah, I said 2016, but yeah, it was 2015 them times.
Okay,
because he's Alonso's guy. Alonso was gassed. You see his tweet? He was gassed up.
Thing is, though, like when I saw obviously was with the Ferrari with Alonso, I thought, that was it. I swear that was a time when let's say Ferrari were up to funny business, right? We know Alonso was about this life, but Ferrari were doing madness as per normal. So it got me thinking, when I blame Ferrari for things and I don't blame Alonso, surely I'm blaming the people like Stella.
No, but Stella was Alonso's guy. Stella was the one that was probably responsible for some of those performances where he was cooking Ferrari.
And he cooked, yeah, okay.
Because remember, he's just that guy on the radio. He wasn't team principal. He weren't he wasn't fixing that car. That car was mid. He wasn't doing any of those things. He just solely worked with Fernando Alonso.
True.
He's what GP is to Max right now.
GP. Yeah, listen. Stella, we're behind you, bro. We are behind you. You know what I'm saying? So Tomo tried to call him Spanish. I said, yo, Tomo, man's Italian, bro. Andreas Stella. Bro. Thing is, you got
because obviously you think the drink was it. You think he looks a bit Spanish, but he's Italian, man. That's a guy Ferrari heritage, man.
That's Ferrari heritage. McLaren move like England, no conviction, hired to do a job but don't execute. Wow.
Peak,
wow, you're gonna compare us to England?
No, man.
I mean,
let's get through these comments, man.
It's peak, man.
Hit the like button, guys. Man.
Listen, pay attention, guys. Yeah, pay attention. Big up to Jay Starship. You don't know. Tell a McLaren fan to tell a McLaren fan. He's already a senior advisor. What's that, Jensen? Yeah, Jensen Button. Ain't that far fetched. It
can work. It can work, man. It can work.
I'd be shocked. I'm not against it. It's a bold move. It's a very bold move.
I'm not against it, guys.
I'm not against it. I wouldn't go that far. Say I was against it, but I would be like, okay, then. I'm just saying you got to take the statement back that they're serious because they're not. That's what it is, and it's fine. That's fine.
We'll revisit. We'll revisit that.
Yeah. Nate says, "Is Josh departing far? Far? Is he departing far? He had flipping Latifi. Williams was McLaren's on steroids. One good driver. Damn." Oh, what a shot that was.
It's pain. Latifi's not that guy, man. Get that guy out of it.
Williams McLaren on steroids, you know.
Get that guy out of it, man. I'm tired.
Wow. Elliot says Vasseur should bring Bottas to Ferrari as he's a reliable number 2.
Oh yeah, I never actually thought about who would replace Sainz. It could be a trade.
Oh, that could be nice. And Bottas and Mick Schumacher thinks
Mick will never. Mick is not coming back to F1, man. He's not good enough.
No, man. There's a German. There's going to be a German in that Audi.
Yeah, bring Vettel back then. Isn't it?
Could be.
Bring Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg. Okay. Baraka says Vettel in a sort of a team principal role in future. Not this woke Vettel. I'll tell you that for a start. Let's start.
Why are you so
upset, not this 2022. You know what I'm saying? Heal the world, Michael Jackson, Vettel, up against. You know what I'm saying? Man's told. Oh,
Man said Michael Jackson healed the world, and I just remember.
Probably, come on.
What about us?
This guy can't. He can't. This guy can't.
Tear that.
You know what I'm saying? In the wind and that, bro. This guy can't. That one can't be the team principal. No way.
Oh my
what
god!
I need is that multi 21. Yeah, I need that Turkey 2010.
No, but he leads the what's it that drivers association thing. He's the head of that, isn't it? He was the head of that. He's got some leadership skills right there.
Listen, as long as it's the guy that wants to go out there and win by any means necessary, I hear it. I'm all for it. The fact that I'm getting this Vettel that wants, you know, what I'm saying?
The world, man.
Thy kingdom come, my friend. Listen, this
Thy
is
kingdom come.
Okay?
Hey.
This is Formula One. You know what I'm saying? We are here to win races. Yeah, you once upon a time did it, and you did it at all costs. You didn't give a damn about anybody else. Okay,
be like, they'll be building the car and they do the launch, and it's like, is the car net zero?
You know what I'm saying? Is it net zero? Is it? You know what I'm saying, the fact that they even drove that. What was it? That Williams in what year was it? Do you remember the Williams that he drove in Silverstone?
That car was cold, but then it had that 100% sustainable fuel thing in it.
Yeah,
and that was a legendary car. That was what's the name's car in it?
Was it Mansell?
Mansell, yeah, Red 5.
Mansell's car, yeah, the Red 5. I'm thinking to myself, come on, vets, let's give me that full nasty, whatever that oil leaking.
Let Vettel coming back right now. He's gonna come back way down the line.
He'll come down way down the line.
Going to the mountains like Doctor Strange, man. He needs to go.
That's it. He'll look more like Daniel Bryan, and then he'll come back to Formula One. He'll shave everything off. Then he'll be back to himself.
Then he'll embrace that hairline of his, and he'll go
just
full Ron Dennis.
Ron Dennis. You know that was there. Huh? Then maybe Science Mick. Yep, I could see that. And Jensen may cook STB.
Yeah, that's how he might.
You never know. We've been going on nearly an hour. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
McLaren. Big up Nathan. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, you got to catch the footy, of course. Nathan says McLaren's taking L's. Yeah, if Messi gets packed this day, an all timer.
McLaren never took an L. That's why I'm just Nathan.
It's not an L.
On your back, mate.
We're gutted, but it's not an L. We're gutted, but it's not an L. It's not an L. Phil for Albon, he's fought out there, man. Is that his depth?
He's only got one more year.
Two-pack. He'll get a good move unless Williams also improves.
He's staying in F1 for a while.
He'll be in F1. He'll be fine. Maybe Capito was pushing for Latifi and Dorrington was pissed.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he was backing. Latifi's
I don't want to believe that. Yeah, if Capito was backing for Latifi, bro, all my stocks on him. All my stocks on him. I'm gonna throw them all away. I'll say that now. Big up everyone watching. Please do smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Oh, McLaren Fan TV, we are back at ya. Alex says George was never going to take Williams over Merck. No, of course he wasn't. I just wanted to be there to be give me some muscle, give me a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. I think De Vries is going to be a flop. He's a flop in Formula E. Damn. I mean,
he won the Formula E title, no? No, but he got beat by Van Dorn though this year. So
big up, listen, big up. You know what I'm saying? Stoffel, man. You know what I'm saying? If De Vries does good, yeah, Perez is gonna be back in the midfield. I mean, I don't know about all this Perez talk going. You know what I'm saying? Perez will be there, man.
He's got issues back home with the missus.
Perez will be fine. I think he'll be fine. I said, TSJ says Ricciardo said that he wanted to take some time off and he won't be quite a few races this year. So I assume in rotation, reserve drivers when Ricciardo has the weekend off. I did hear something along those lines as well about, being in the background and whatnot, taking time off. Get Yamaha engine in, then we'll be the best.
Ooh, I love the sound of a Yamaha, man.
The Yamaha, yeah.
I
What?
need to go buy a super bike, man. I'm getting back on it.
Generous Dave, bro. Yeah, that's strike one.
All right, generous Dave.
Strike one. Yeah,
Come on, brother.
We've barred people on this.
There was no need. There was no need.
We've barred people.
We'll bring you on the stream, brother. Don't play with us.
You know the ones. Nate says science for Bottas is like Britney. What Britney Griner for? My friend,
that comment's crazy.
That is wild, not balanced.
That's the craziest trade ever. USA didn't even get any draft picks, man.
I tell you what's so funny, yeah.
They gave away a war criminal for a basketball.
No pick, nothing. The fact that even like Biden was all out here, like, guys, she's safe, she's on her way back. I'm thinking to myself, am I missing something here? What is all this about? Like, am I missing it? I don't get all the noise, but yeah, fair enough.
Proper war criminal as well, but that's not about this stream. I'll tell you about that another time.
You know, I said MJ, big up, man. I said MJ Vettel,
tear out the shirt. What about us?
I said Vettel might be up in Timbuktu living it up soon.
He's like Doctor Strange, man.
I said full on Ron Dennis. You don't know
circles.
I said that Formula E title is the least impressive title I've ever seen. Damn. I said he scored 99 points in 16 races.
All right, that is a stinky one still. And he's in a Mercedes. Formula
What's the point system like in Formula E? What's a race win?
They've got fan boost, man. It's not a serious sport, man.
Did you say fan boost?
Yeah.
Nah, you're capping.
I'm not lying. You can't
capping.
go faster if the fans are clapping or whatever. I don't know what's going
on.
Nah. Hey, listen, I'm going Formula E. We're going Formula E race. We're going Formula E race in London. 100%. McLaren's there now. We're on the grid.
Bro.
We've got to show up.
Do you know what? I know somebody that left work, like left my workplace to go to Formula E some years ago. If they are still there, I'm gonna find out and be like, "Yo, talk to me. Like, what are these points saying, though?"
I'm going to East London. I hate East London. I'll go Excel Centre, man.
Excel Centre, bro. Where I can't even hear the car. I can hear the Prius outside more than I can hear the freaking F1, the FE car. Nah, you're mad, bro. Man said fan boost. You know, I still can't believe.
I told you fan boost is there. Okay, it's getting scrapped because that's a joke thing. That's not a serious sport, man. If you're doing that, you're not serious, man.
It's basically the same point system as F1. Okay. I said they got rid of the fan boost. Okay. No, do is it?
Hey, bring fan boost to F1.
The fact that people are saying that they got rid of it, the fact that it existed, is a disgrace. It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Might as well have Siri in the car.
You know, a man was chilling with warlords on a casual thing, and then they let him free.
Was it mercenary?
Oh, America!
America's crazy. But yeah, guys.
Yes, look, guys. It is time to wrap this all up. Listen, Andreas Seidl, we want to thank you for everything you've done for McLaren, from where we joined, and obviously where we are in terms of, you know, since obviously you leaving us. And all we can say is that we've been grateful for the last couple of years. What was this saying? 8 podiums, 1 race win. In that time, I would have never thought in a million years that McLaren would be celebrating a victory as soon as we did. And the amount of podiums we have got, you know what I'm saying? Like, big up to Seidl and the gang that have been working with us. He goes on to greener pastures and become the CEO. He gets a promotion with Audi Sauber, Alfa Romeo, whatever the hell they're going to be called next year. And yeah, we move on. We take out the S, you know what I'm saying? And we move on to Andrea, Stella, you know the ones. And listen, he's going to be our new guy. And we're backing him. All the McLaren fans in the building, we're backing this man all the way through. And we are hoping that McLaren can start making them positive steps towards next season. It's going to be mad.
We're going to be cooking, and we're going to be making content over. We're going to be analyzing this situation further. I don't think we're going to be away during the off season. We're here.
No,
we're making some changes, guys.
Listen, if McLaren want to drop more news on a Tuesday, listen, that's fine with us. You know them ones there. That's fine.
That's our time anyway. You get me?
That's our time. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we're going to be posting up videos. We're going to be, you know, Mahad and I are going to be getting together and going to be working on a few things behind the scenes. And yeah, man, there'll be more content for your head top. Hey, big up to Mahad as well on the thumbnail. If you've not seen the thumbnail slightly different today, man like Mahad in the building, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, look, I know how to use Photoshop now, guys. Hey, I'm learning things. You get me? We're cooking, guys.
Listen,
we're gonna up the production level on this. Don't worry about it.
We love Formula One 100%. We love McLaren fan TV. We love McLaren more so. And don't worry, the videos are coming very, very soon. But listen, people, there is a World Cup going on, so it's time you lot.
I've missed 6 minutes of a semi-final, guys.
Oh, we can't do that. Anyway, guys, peace. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.